Hello, I just purchased this binder off of Facebook Marketplace. So today we're gonna have that exact same discussion because in yesterday's video, we covered all the different ways you can sell your cards. Now we gotta discuss how to buy cards. All right, so let me just break down this binder by first taking out all these pages. Okay, so let's cover how to spot good binders and how to make the purchase. Okay, so yesterday I mentioned that the best deals can be found on Facebook Marketplace. Actually, I said the best way to sell is Facebook Marketplace, but that also doubles as the best place to buy, because when you buy, somebody is, we'll just say, desperate to sell. Not really desperate, but that's usually where people go in the first place. So this person was selling it for their friend who is actually what's it called? Storage liquidator. Okay, so apparently that guy found this binder in a storage and then had all these cards in there. Okay, so she had it listed at 600, and I messaged them, or her. I'm just gonna say her from now on. I messaged her, and then she said the asking is 600. Nobody messaged yet. The listing was up for 23 hours so far. Okay, so I messaged her, and then I said, based on the photos, I would probably offer between 200 to 400. Now, there's an art to negotiation, and the main thing is you try to keep the conversation going. You don't just have your hard stop answer and all that stuff. I'll just tell you about my situation, okay? She lives about 13 miles away, so it would be quite a far drive to go without having a potential deal in place, okay? So I said, based on the photos, I would probably pay between $200 and $400 based on condition. Then she said, my friend will not take less than 350. Okay, so obviously 350 is on the higher end, and all the photos and videos that were available was only of the front of the cards. So realistically, you can't even tell what the condition of these cards were. Okay, so I told her, how about this? I'll come out and look at it, and if I'm happy with 350, I'll take it. If not, I won't take it. And then she was like, okay, because that's actually what she offered. And then if I drove out there and made no deal, that's on me. So about, I want to say half an hour later, I showed up at her friend's house and I looked at the binder, and not gonna lie, the cards looked a little shittier than I thought. There was damage in some of the good cards, and it was really sad. I'll just show it to you right now. They're right in front of me. Where's the Charizard? Look at this thing. Is it creased? Anyways, I was very sad. Not really, but the main thing is you educate the other person on why your offer dropped. Okay, so as I was checking it, I was walking her through what I was looking for, and I was just saying most of the values are in the holo cards. Look at this Charizard. If this was nice, this would be X dollars. If this is ugly, this would be X dollars. I think I said 150 if it's nice and $20 if it's ugly. And that one was an ugly one. It was basically damaged. So now, when you shop around for binders and you look on Facebook Marketplace, being decisive and being able to identify value very quickly is very important, okay? So like this binder obviously has like 100 to 200 cards. So the main thing is, just like in restaurants, you want to focus on the 20% of your product that makes up 80% of the value. It's like if you have vegetables and rice and steak, the main thing you want to make sure you don't fuck up is the steak, because that's the most expensive one. You can screw up mountains of vegetables and it would be equivalent to 2 steaks. Okay, so that's the same thing here. You don't really care about the condition of all the junkier cards and all, so you mainly care about the value. So initial value would be like if you're looking at the photos, flip through all of it and then take out, you can put your line wherever you want, but I kind of count the value of all the cards that are about $5 and above. I just go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Like I'll just point at the same card, 20, 25, 30 and whatever. And I'll just go through the whole binder and I'll get my estimate. All of this other like bulk and stuff, I just consider this bonus fluff. I never really factor it into the value that I'm going to offer unless it's more leaning more on the high quality where like there's a bunch of $3, $4 cards. Like for example, this one, worthless. All right. But like this one, that one's decent. That's probably like $3. It'll sell for like $3. So everyone's sales channel is different. So I can liquidate cheaper cards like this more easily than a vendor can. So that's the advantage that I have. I remember this one time I went to a I basically met up with this guy who was selling a binder for $1,900, and he said it was between me and another guy. And then I told the person selling the binder, hey, you tell him we'll all meet up at the same place and I'll fight the other guy for it. And then the guy was like, whoa. It's not that serious. Don't fight him over it. And then I was like, no, I mean, we're going to look at the condition. Then we're going to have a bidding war. And he's like, oh, okay. And then when I showed up, the other guy, he is a local vendor. He's like one of those people that set up a stall and then has all the cards in front of him. When he saw me, he was like, oh, fuck. It's like Storage Wars, you know, Dave, where he just like, yup, and you just outbid no matter what. Because me versus that other vendor, it's all of these little cards. Like, let's say this one. I liquidated that entire binder on stream within probably 1 hour. It took me 1 hour to sell it. For him to sell it, he would have had to put it in a binder, price everything out, go to a convention, sell it, deal. Like 600 individual cards is very hard for a normal person to sell, where not everything gets liquidated. So anyways, this is going to be part one. Part one is just me talking about how I acquired the cards. Part two is going to be which is going to be when I sell it. We'll go over the numbers and the realistic data on how things are sold and how much I actually made off of this purchase. So most of the cards that have value were in the front. So the video is going to cut off soon, so you won't really, it's in about 2 minutes. So you're not going to see the rest, but we'll go over the numbers and we'll go over how I batched it and sold it. Anyways, I met up with her. I told her, hey, most of these are damaged. And I flipped through the whole thing one more time. And I said, hey, some of these cards are also fake, FYI. Anyways, I said, the best I can do is $250. So that's where because I wasn't negotiating with her and I was negotiating with her friend somewhere, she had to call the friend. So I didn't want to mess around with like, oh, bid up, bid down. I just said $250. The cards are damaged, $250. That's my offer. I don't mind going home and empty-handed. And then that's kind of where partially I wasn't really trying to take advantage of the situation of like, oh, they're just trying to dump the binder. But like either way, if I left empty-handed or for $250, I would have been fine. I wasn't too hot on $250, but I know I'll make some amount of money. So we'll on the next video, we'll go over how much time it took me to do this whole thing, how much time it took me to talk to her, how much time it'll take, how much labor, how many costs, whatnot fees, all that stuff. Basically, we'll figure out how much money I made from this binder. So all in on this binder, I've spent $250, and we'll see how much profit I make off of it. Remember, oh, that's another thing. I don't normally go on Facebook Marketplace because it's not really worth my time. I just happened to be tabbing through on my computer, and then I was like, oh, look at that. And then I messaged, and then boom. Within 20 minutes, I was driving on my way there. We'll see you next time.